Welcome, Virgo. Happy New Year 2024. I hope you are well. I hope that you had a nice holiday season and that your transition back to work or daily life is resumed without too much strife and chaos. And so, Virgo, we're going to take a look at 8 different areas of your life and how you can thrive in 2024. So I have cleansed my cards. I have laid out oracle cards for 8 different areas, and those are going to be intellectual, emotional, environmental, physical, spiritual, financial, community, and occupational. And this, I'll break this up into chapters. You're welcome to connect with each one that might speak to you, the reading as a whole. This is a timeless read for anybody with Virgo in their chart, wherever it may fall. So this is general. Some of the whole message might resonate for you, or maybe just pieces, parts. So whatever fits for you, I encourage you to hit the like and subscribe button so this message can get out to others. And sit back and enjoy. Have an open mind, release expectations, maybe grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and relax. And just be open to what Spirit wants to show you at this time. All right, reading for the sign of Virgo. So Virgo, did you create some resolutions? Did you set some goals? Decide on a word or phrase for yourself for the year? I'd really love to know. Feel free to drop a comment as to how 2024 is going for you thus far. Mine's been a little bit of a rough, slow start. Okay, all right. First, we're going to take a look at the area of intellectual. Now, this can include education, wisdom, self-awareness, ideas, thinking, mental clarity. It could even be creativity. Okay, all right, and for intellectual, we got the community card, or number 8, which is really all about mastery. This year, the number 8 is for numerology 2024, and here we have community. Okay, even though that is a area we will cover more in depth, realize that some of these areas will overlap. So when we're looking at intellectual community, this may be for you, Virgo, about taking your current group of friends, creating like a think tank, brainstorm ideas for how to enhance your life, to enhance the lives of others. This may be about creating something new, like intellectual property or some sort of invention or creation that may revolutionize a market, may revolutionize your life. And definitely learning to think and experience things on your own is important, but there is power in numbers in think tanks. Brainstorming, creating a panel or a group to help you out is definitely something that would be to your advantage this year. And so if you're drawn to this intellectual discussion, you may want to take a look at the community section when we get there. And I'm just going to draw some tarot to give us more insight on what intellectual may look like for you this year. And we have the Sun card. Beautiful. Okay, so this is not just about being more positive, right? It is about embracing your wisdom and your intuition as well. This is about developing, keeping your brain sharp. If you are someone who is retired, out of the workforce, you may strongly want to consider volunteering someplace, maybe going back to school, learning new things to add to your toolbox so that you can do some creative projects, do some things like, could be puzzles, helping people out, being a mentor or something to people, passing on your wisdom to the younger generations may be super important. Something to help keep you young and sharp, okay? And you still will have bright sparkling ideas here, Virgo, no matter what your age is. You are never too old to learn. You're never too old to pass things on. So you can teach an old dog new tricks. For those of you that are younger and maybe going through school, looking into going to college or at a young age, or going back to college, I would say really ask those in your support system, not to tell you where to go, but like, what did they see, right? Like sometimes when we're in our own thinking, we're in our own, we're the focus of our own attention, we can kind of be lost in the strengths and weaknesses we may possess. And you want to see the whole picture of yourself is you internal and external, but how you show up for the world. So checking with close friends, families, colleagues about how you show up and show up for other people will be great wisdom for you. It will help you with your self-awareness, and that will help you grow and to be open. So you've got a bright 2024 coming in the era of wisdom, education, self-awareness. And I think there is a bit of a breakthrough for you, because Virgo, you can tend to be an overthinker, right? Kind of cautious, really thinking things through, and that's important. But when you get into the ruminating and it's self-destructive, you want to really work on that and let that go. But with the Sun card here in community, you will be engaged in a community. If you aren't already, you will be enhancing that. And some of you will be creating a whole new community, whatever that looks like to you. Shared group of interests, could be work study groups, it could be studying at college, it could be any number of things, or work projects. So be open to sharpening your wisdom, sharing your wisdom, and expect some bright ideas and some creativity to be sparked this year for you, Virgo. Okay, see if there's anything else Spirit wants to show us. Additional oracle card for the area of intellectual. So maybe we will be getting great mental clarity this year and direction, where maybe you have kind of fell short before, thinking ideas are no good, or you've been left out. Okay, and we have moon cycles or patience, right? Some of you have been extremely patient in this area of gaining wisdom, gaining knowledge. Like maybe you had goals to complete a certification program, or an apprenticeship, or even creating a new job. You've been very patient to finish, to complete, but you have cycles to go through, right? There's an intro, there's a being willing to learn and apply, there's tests to take, there's certifications to take. So you've been very patient, and your patience is soon going to be rewarded with that Sun card, okay? You may even join like a sorority group, a fraternity group. You may be part of an honors class. So there's many things that you may be part of that you have been very patient for, or you will exert great patience this year. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at the area of emotional. Now, this card is a beautiful card, number 4, right? It's about stability. And this is talking about higher power, whatever you call your higher power. So this is just one area. We have the area of spiritual later on, but Spirit is showing you now that the emotional side here for 2024 is going to be about making sure you connect with your higher power, your higher self in the areas of your emotions. So if you've been led by your emotions more so than logic and practicality, it may be time to be balancing that out, Virgo. So sometimes we can act in such a way when we're really excited about something, we're just kind of impulsive and we might jump in without really checking in with our intuition, with our higher selves. So this year for you very well may include creating some stability with connecting with your higher power. And that may be some emotional regulation, making sure to check in with yourself before you do something. For those of you that don't really listen to your emotions, maybe you're a little bit more hardcore, you're a little more in the masculine energy, you might need to get in touch with your higher power to start feeling things more, to becoming aware of how you feel and why. What makes you tick? What brings you joy? And some of those things are super easy to figure out, but then it's about bringing things into balance, right? It's learning to, you can still be cautious, still have emotions, and take action. It's not getting stuck in the emotions, but it's not overthinking it either. Okay. So for those of you seeking a partner, you're single, seeking a significant other, your soulmate, you are being invited to touch base with your higher self, to learn to be your own soulmate first, learn to love yourself in a balanced way, learn to receive love from on high, from your higher self, from spirit, God, universe, whatever you call your higher power. Okay? Whether or not a soulmate comes in for you this year, that's not yet clear. Spirit may show us a little bit more, but you are being invited to invite in your higher power to help guide you, to help strengthen your intuition to find that right person. Okay? And some of you are being asked to use logic with this because maybe your relationships have gone a certain way before and it's time to break that cycle. You may have been led by your emotions, those ooey gooey love sick feelings, which have a time and a place. Okay? Those of you that are in a relationship, you know, in a long-term commitment, that are generally happy with things, you are being asked to make sure your emotions are balanced so that you can be present for yourself and your family or your loved ones. And if you've gonna hit a few rough spots this year, let's face it, all relationships are hard, right? They take time, they take effort, and they're certainly not always comfortable. So you are being, again, reminded with the higher power to connect so that you feel things, so that you listen to your partner and how they feel. For some of you, this may mean seeking a life coach or a mentoring coach, marriage coach of some kind to help you work through some issues. Either one of you or your partner may have emotional regulation concerns. Maybe you get too excitable, too much anger, just too much in your feels about things because there's things you need to process and heal. That in of itself is not a bad thing. It's just making sure that they don't overshadow yourself, what you're trying to do in the world, and your partnership, Virgo. Okay. All right. Pull some tarot. What do we need to know to help clarify this higher power in the area of emotional health for Virgo this year? Okay. And we have the Four of Wands. So very beautiful energy this year for you in the area of your emotions. So there's a lot to celebrate. Learning to celebrate life, learning to celebrate that those emotions are there for you, whether it's dislike, whether it's distrust, whether it's depression, anxiety, whether or not it's love. Those emotions are there to serve us and often lead to, there's something else underlying under there. So really learning to sit with your emotions, celebrate your emotions. And that also means that there will be a greater sense of emotional freedom for you if you've been stuck by listening, praying, meditating to your higher power to connect you. So for those of you, you know, we were talking about your soulmate or bringing in a loved one. I think you have every reason to believe that it is possible. For me, this is, you know, a celebration card, the prodigal son coming home. There is that sense of home and love in commitment. So I think there's a pretty good chance that you will find your partner, your loved one very soon this year. But it is about being your own soulmate first, because you are the one person you can't get away from. Those of you that are in a relationship, there's every reason to believe that you'll hit some new milestones. And celebrate all the small wins, okay? Not just the big ones, but celebrate the small wins, because in the end, those are the things that really make up life. Okay? All right, let's see, pull another oracle card. See, Spirit wants to show us anything more in the area of our emotions for a thriving 2024. Okay. And we have moonset, releasing. Okay. Oftentimes, right, to get to the celebration, there are some things that we need to release. You may need to be more open to how your partner's feeling. You might want to become more of an active listener, you know, thinking before you speak. Maybe releasing an old love so you can let in the new. Maybe a limiting belief that you're never going to find your person. And that's just not true, you know? Sometimes we're just not ready for that loved one to come into our lives, to enhance our lives so we can have reciprocity. If you're in a tough relationship that you've been looking to get out of, you may need to release that, you know, this might sound harsh, but that you haven't made any movement to let that go, that you're staying stuck and making excuses. I'm not a proponent for just giving up on relationships unless there is really been some hurt, some pain. That person may not be right for you, but at least you've tried, right? So give it everything you've got. But if this is something that has been in your life for a while, you've complained to people, you've complained to yourself that this just isn't for you anymore, you're not happy, it's time to crap or get off the pot, Virgo. Just gonna say it like it is, okay? If you're someone who feels like maybe you give up on relationships too easy, then take this time to release that old way of thinking that you've got to cut ties before something bad happens. That's a fear. But you've got to be able to weigh those emotions, weigh the intellect, along with your higher power to help you get out of that and help you see, I'm looking back at this moon cycle, the cycles and patterns that you have gone through in your life, and it's time to really take a good hard look at that. Okay, and earlier I pulled some messages from your higher power, and one of them came out was, I will surrender to things in my life I have no control over. So you may need to do this. If your partner has left you, there's just toxic things that aren't changing, you can control yourself and your reactions, and you can make actions that change your life. There is a time and a place, but the first step is that awareness. Okay, all right, I think that wraps up our emotional part. All right, so next we are going to move on to our environment for a thriving 2024. And we have, you know, we have year 24 and we have card 24, time for a nap. Even the crescent moon is taking a nap with the stars vibrating around you. So some of you may think that you don't have time to rest because you are always on duty, right? Whether it's your family, friends, or work. But there are other people that can help you. So it may be about delegating that so that you can rest. Okay, so now a little more insight as to how that fits in for the area of environment. Okay, so environment is home, auras, vibes, toxins in the body, nature, how your area makes you feel, purging, cleaning your home. So this is about setting yourself up on the outside for success, right? So if you have a workspace, maybe you have an office, maybe you have a corner and it's a mess and it just stresses you out and worries you, you may want to take some time to clean that out, get it organized, and this will help you be less distracted by the mess and the things that need to be done, then so that you can engage your brain, so that you can be productive, right? And in your home, if this is about you're feeling clutter and you've got to throw out this and you've got to shred that, like I've got a huge pile of shredding that my husband and I are slowly working on, but it's a project we know we need to incorporate to help clean up one of the rooms in our home, so we don't feel dread every time we walk in. We want our space to be a warm, calming place that we retreat to, whether or not we invite people into our home and we want them to feel welcome, or it's just about us and our time. It's about cleaning that up. So this is about making sure you rest when you need to rest, and even if a project seems big and daunting, like maybe you got to go through several closets, pick something on a daily or weekly basis and do it little by little so it's not so overwhelming. Or take a whole day and get as much done as you can so that when you walk into your home, you feel like you can let go, let loose. If you need to meditate or do yoga, you have the space to do that. So this is about cleaning out so that you can feel like you can rest more later, right? We want to look at the now and how things are affecting us now and how they're going to affect us 3 months, 6 months, 9 months down the road. Okay. So now we're going to pull a tarot card, a little more information on the area of environment for Virgo. What does Virgo need to know about their environment? Like, what kind of vibes are you giving off to other people, right? Do you feel at home in your own body? We're going to get more into the physical next, but environment affects everything, right? Environment, what you see, what you smell, what you feel. Vibes, it can make you feel a certain way. It can trigger you. So more self-awareness will be really important for you in 2024 on how you feel, how certain people make you feel. If you've never questioned that, don't be afraid to take a look at that, Virgo. Getting outside in nature, definitely, and how that affects you, becoming aware of it. You may want to keep a journal on how things affect you, just so that you kind of know, not just if something brings you joy or pain, but I'm talking at a deeper level, things that really make you feel grounded, things that don't bring you peace and you've just accepted it before. Okay, so we have the Two of Wands for time for a nap. Okay. So this is about choices in part, finishing one thing and starting another, right? There's always something more that can be done, but make sure you're taking rest in between. This is about really creating an environment that suits your authentic true self, right? So taking a good hard look at what you want to show to the world, how you show up for yourself, and how you want to feel. If you're not aware of those things, take those steps back, write down those things so that you're aware, so you know what changes you need to make. It's about being aware, about being present, and about having your inside and your outside worlds match. And that takes balance, and it's never perfect. So pick an area or two in your life that you might need to clean up, face, and make some changes. Maybe you need to purge a bunch of old stuff that had old memories. And by doing so, you feel more free, and it gives it a chance to go into someone else's home, right? So one man's trash is another man's treasure. So learning to let things go so that you're not a pack rat, so that you can create more time for yourself down the road because you have better systems and procedures in place, going through the mail, right? What leftovers you keep in your refrigerator. Just this is limitless to what colors you paint it, how clean you keep your yard, even the vibe and tone that you set in your car, the music you listen to. How does it make you feel? How does it bring you closer to where you want to be? Okay, Virgo, I'm going to take a look at another oracle card for the area of environment. What does Virgo need to know? So this is going to be a long read, Virgo. But again, tap into what's for you. Let go what isn't. Okay. All right. And we have forgiveness. Full moon forgiveness. We just had the full moon a couple days ago on the 11th. First full moon, and it was in Capricorn. So this about forgiveness in your home space. If you or your home, work, whatever environment you're in, if you have unforgiveness towards yourself and to others, that can make you angry. It can make you despondent. It can make you really focused on things that aren't serving you. So be willing to take that bold step to forgive yourself, because then there's less hostility towards yourself, towards others, and it opens you up to be able to receive more when you're ready, of course. So what is it that you might need to forgive? Because don't forget, your energies do affect other people. You want to protect your energies, but be aware of how it affects other people. So if you are working with a group of people that you are mad at and you don't forgive, then that's going to create some barriers and walls. They're not boundaries, they're barriers and walls. And what you want to do is create boundaries. So where can you forgive yourself, others, maybe even your higher self, your spirit team, if you feel like you've been let down? Definitely an area to look at. Okay. All right, Virgo, now we're going to take a look at the physical realm to thrive in 2024. And we have, for physical, we have number 32, or 5 for change, here and now. Okay, about physical. And this is beautiful because the physical can obviously include our exercise, what we see, feel, touch, our body, relationships to others, and material gain. And this can include financial, but we do have a financial area coming up. So some of this, again, may overlap. And this is also about your general health. So for me right now, this is saying learning to be present. Okay, your body is always present, but your mind could be wavering, right? Bringing your mind into your body so that you can scan your body for pain and anxiety, becoming aware of how you're feeling and how it affects your body. Like, for example, if you have a lot of unforgiveness, you may feel a lot of pain and ache in your joints. Now, I'm not a doctor, so please take anything to a medical professional if you're not feeling well, you have questions and you need a nutritionist or a chiropractor, but it's becoming aware of the mind-body connection. And that even goes into your environment. It's all connected, but taking it separately, this is about you being present, here and now, mindful. Whether the people that you're with, that you are actively listening to really listen, not just listening to speak, right? To be heard, because then you don't really hear half of what that other person's saying. It's about your body language matching how you're feeling in a conversation with other people. Sometimes we're good at putting on a show, and sometimes we think that it seems like we're listening, but that other person doesn't feel heard because it feels and looks like you are somewhere else. Okay, so this is about change. Okay, physically. For many of you, you need to get that body moving, getting out into nature, taking a walk, even if it's a short one. I know in some parts of the world it's very cold, lots of snow. So maybe you're out shoveling, maybe you're out snowshoeing or skiing. Try to do something to not just soak in the sun, but to get your body moving so that it doesn't get, locked up, frozen. It helps get your emotions unstuck. Okay, so for your health, some of you, this egg is just reminding me of fertility health, right? So if you are trying to conceive, you're a lady, you're trying to conceive and having trouble, watch your nutrition, right? Maybe you want to go see a specialist and find out what other hindrances are in the way. Is there something that exercise and nutrition can change? Is for the health of the egg? Is there things that you should avoid for foods? And physical body too, like what can you do to have a healthier toned body? And even if you are pregnant, things that you can do, stretching, walking, so that you can be fit, you can be there and be ready for baby. If you're the man, go get your sperm checked out, go get your health checked out, because it does obviously take two to tango. So, and you want to be the best parent you can be, to be present, to be available, and to be there. So that's for some of you Virgos. Okay, we'll pull a tarot card for a little more information, insight. What else does Virgo need to know about physical? All right. And we have Queen of Cups. All right. So while we know cup energy to be about emotions and intuition, this is about standing in your power of your emotions and your intuition, to listen to your body, to listen to even the call of nature, the sun shining outside, the wind on your face, those things that give you pleasure, to get you out, to get you physical, to maybe open up the windows in your home and let the air in. This could be about going for a walk with someone, getting outside and getting physical. So learning to love those things and doing them, but in the areas where maybe you don't like to move your body. Maybe you don't like to get outside. So maybe you can open up a window to get some fresh air in. Maybe you could step out on the porch and breathe, look at the stars and breathe it in. Maybe for some of you, you need to turn on YouTube and watch a yoga or Pilates class, or invite someone over and do some stretching together, do some weightlifting together. It's about finding those things that in ways that you can move your body that you will love and intuitively connect with your body. So starting sometime in the morning and just laying in bed and scanning your body for any pain and tension can help you pray and ease into your meditation for the day. Maybe you'll realize, oh, my joints feel locked up. I need to go for a short walk. Maybe things are locked up and you feel like you need to stretch. You will know what your body craves. It's like when you sometimes feel like you're hungry, your body's really thirsty because it hasn't got enough fluids. So it's about learning those things, discerning those things so that you know what to do to feel your body. Your body is your host. It's your temple, right? We want to treat it with love and respect. So it's about being open and being aware. Earlier when I was meditating over your cards, I kept getting the word continuity. So for some of you, it's about bringing things into balance, continuing things that work for you, not start and stop, creating some new routines, and that may take some time. Okay, what else does Virgo need to know in the area of their physical health and body? And then we did get this card earlier from your higher self. My heart and lungs is made of water. I will drink more water to replenish what my body needs. This may be all you need to hear this year. Making sure you have enough water. It helps your body function better, it helps you sleep, helps with stress, and helps with mental clarity. Okay, and the last one that we have for our area of physical body is moon dance, celebration. Some of you may want to consider dancing as a routine or a rhythm to get exercise. Whatever you go, salsa dancing, ballroom dancing, just jigging around the house to music, just to get your body moving. And for some of you, this is going to be about celebrating all those small wins. If you decide to set up goals for yourself and you want to drink 4 bottles of water to start, make sure you are celebrating those things. I don't suggest then you run out and grab 10 milkshakes, but celebrate in such a way that feels good to you, embracing where you are at now. So what might make you feel good today in celebration may be different in 6 months. Okay. All right. Now we're going to take a look at our spiritual area, Virgo. And this can be about awareness, growth, faith, practices, routines, animals, beliefs, values, connecting with your higher source and your purpose. So we drew today number 5. We have another 5 for change. Orphaned. Okay. So right away, what I'm picking up is there may be many of you who feel like you don't have connections in your life, connection to spirit. Maybe you don't even have any spiritual beliefs that you're aware of, and you need to explore that. Maybe you're like, this stuff just doesn't work for me. Manifestation doesn't work for me. No one cares about me outside of myself. And these are things that are usually challenges, limiting beliefs from our past. And we always have times in our life where we're reevaluating what we believe and why. And for some reason, you may be feeling orphaned, like no one cares about you. No one loves you. And you are loved by your spirit team, your ancestors, and your spirit higher self loves you. So you are not alone. You are here on this earth where there's many people, but you may feel alone. So if it's a matter of something you need to grieve and let go of, maybe you lost your parent, and you have no family left. My heart goes out to you, Virgo. And if you need, people to talk to, make sure you talk to friends, to a professional, therapist, life coach. If you're really feeling stuck and depressed and anxious, make sure you see the right healthcare providers. But as far as feeling orphaned spiritually, you have many brothers and sisters in this world that you can connect with, to build a support group, a community with. So some of you have just gotten out of practice, or have not maybe even created any spiritual practice of meditating and connecting to your higher self. Maybe your chakras aren't balanced and aligned. Maybe you're hanging on to that unforgiveness, and it's just created a barrier between you and tapping into your higher self and your intuition. So you are being asked to really look to create some change this year on how you see yourself and how you connect with others. I know this can be a tough time of year for many, that the Christmas is over, the holidays are over, and the celebrations are done. Maybe you feel a little despondent, or maybe, you're somewhere where the winter, there's not a lot of sun, so you have some seasonal affective disorders and thoughts and emotions going on. Again, make sure you are treating yourself well, seeing the healthcare professionals you need, and you're just feeling kind of blah, like there's no one around you, and you don't want to communicate, and you feel alone. That's okay. Just make sure you don't isolate yourself, Virgo, that you are connecting with people, letting them know you're doing how you're really doing. It's really important. But you are loved. You are not alone. You have lots of room for growth and change. So if you are alone and you feel like you have no community, no one around you, if you're able to get near animals, they are highly intuitive, highly spiritual. Or maybe, get outside and watch nature, kind of connect in those ways to create some links. Okay, Virgo, what else does Virgo need to know about feeling orphaned in the area of their spiritual life in 2024? Okay. And we have the Nine of Cups, so wish fulfillment. So some of you that feel orphaned, like you don't have any spiritual connections, you don't have any spirituality, are about to have your mind blown. This is all about wish fulfillment, and whether or not you have verbally said it, you have likely voiced, prayed your concerns, that you feel alone, that you want to feel connected. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities offered to you this year, Virgo, that you can connect and create some spiritual practices and growth and connect with yourself. So it's going to be about really discovering yourself in a deeper way and making more spiritual connections to things that you ever had before. Like maybe you never thought of nature as being spiritual, and you sit outside in the grass and you're seeing life around you, and you're realizing that those things have life, they have promise, and they are spiritual, and they are deep, and they can really enhance your life. That's just an example. Maybe some of you were in a religious group at one time, and there was like a hierarchy, patriarchy, and you felt alone. Maybe you lost that person, or there was a bad connection or relationship that was lost, and you're just feeling like you have no one to turn to. You in of yourself is a spiritual being, Virgo, and you don't need somebody else to mediate between you and your higher self. You have the ability to do that. So there may be some truths to become aware. There may be some grief to process for you, Virgo, but there is going to be some deepening of your spiritual growth, creating new practices, new rituals, perhaps journaling, perhaps creating music. There's any number of things that will help you feel connected so you don't feel orphaned and alone. Okay, what additional information does Virgo need to know for their spirituality in 2024? Some of you, it's going to be about the tearing down of religious organizations. Not that you're tearing it down, but that you're seeing the flaws and accepting them, working with them, and doing what you need to do for your best and highest good. Okay, and lastly, we had Ring Around the Moon, protection. I think a lot of you have been protecting your heart, your emotions thus, maybe even your intellect because you've been hurt before in this area. Maybe you felt like you don't have spiritual gifts and talents and you've been left out. Some of us are late bloomers, Virgo. Some of us just need to explore more. We need to radically accept that there are things beyond our control, and we've been protecting ourselves. So try to be vulnerable. Let people in new situations in, because you can stay where you're at, or you can try new things to enhance your life, to get out of your comfort zone, and through the risk, you will find more fulfillment. Okay. Speaking of that, I'm drawn to the last message that we got from our higher selves. When was the last time I had a good laugh? Let's search for silly video. For some of you, it may need to connect to the joy and fun that you used to have, whether it's looking at old pictures, reading old cards, old emails, and maybe even making connections to friends that you thought were no longer around. Okay, we're going to take a look at our last three, which is financial, community, and occupational, Virgo. So for financial, we have round and round. Round and round. So in the area of finances, we're looking at balance, boundaries, gains and losses, creating money, values, loss, and planning. So round and round says to me that some of your financial situations have been up and down. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck, and 1 month you've got a little extra, so you spend a little, and then there's nothing to save, and the debt comes in. Maybe you get free, and then you get in debt all over again, and you're in these cycles, and you want to see something change. So you are being invited to look at your relationship to money. How do you look at it? Is it something with feelings and emotions? How does it make you feel? What kind of tool is it for you? And it's going to be about breaking those cycles, because some things need to change. So you may need to look at, do you create a budget? Do you follow your budget? Are you overspending? Do you have a way to create an emergency fund, even if it's starting small, creating that money so that if something happens, you're not pulling from your day-to-day funds. It's about becoming, again, aware, making a plan, taking some small action steps. Some of you may need to see a financial counselor or financial advisor, knowing how to invest, what to invest, and what that's going to look like, because financial freedom is something that almost everybody is working for. So what are your boundaries around money? Like, for example, if you're in a relationship, and you pull your money together, do you have an agreement on how much you can spend when you're on your own? Or do you talk about things together? Money is a big problem for people personally and in a relationship. So make sure you're talking about those hard things. If you have room to get a second job for time, create some second income, you may want to do that to put some money in an emergency fund, or work on paying down your things. Yes, it might make things really tough and tight for a while, but in the end you will be free. But you really need to look at your relationship with money. Are you an overspender? Are you living outside of your means? Why are you doing this? And what do you want to change so that you can actually see things different at the end of 2024? Okay, pull a tarot card. What else does Virgo need to know about the finances in 2024? How do you value money? Money in of itself is not a bad thing, but it is how you use it, right? You are responsible for your choices. So if you are in a lot of debt and you just keep spending, you're going to need to take some accountability. And for some of you, that's going to be a huge step, but a very important one. Okay, I'll just fill out. All right, what does Virgo need to know for 2024? Okay, and we have the Ten of Swords. Okay. So something is dead, done, over with. And I think you are just done with not having enough money, or not feeling like it's ever enough, or knowing what to do with it and being financially responsible in these things. So This is about to end because you're going to take things seriously, Virgo. Really make some informed decisions and plans, maybe creating an accountability partner so that you can see the end to this like financial imprisonment, financial slavery that you are bound to, right? You can become a slave to the lenders, to the money, to your home, to your car. So make sure you're making investments wisely. Are there areas you can cut back in so you can save more, to live tighter now so you can be freer later? Okay. All right. What else does Virgo need to know about thriving in 2024 and their finances? All right. And we have communicate. Talk to the moon, right? Maybe you've got some plans and thoughts you want to get out there that you just need to talk about. And I'm seeing people practicing talking before they talk to their partner about wanting to commit to a new routine or spending less or saving more, whatever it might be. You need to communicate that. And if you are by yourself, then again, still communicate that. Communicate that and set your intentions. Put it out there in the universe of what you want to do. Create a plan, get an accountability partner. If you have children, you're a single parent or grandparent, you may want to consider teaching your children more about being financially responsible and creating a healthy relationship with money. All right, I see great progress for you guys. If you take the bull by the horns, make some tough awareness choices, accountability choices, and action steps. Okay. For the area of community, we have go to the sea, number 7, community. So this could be family, friends, work groups that you're part of, fraternities, co-workers, neighbors. This could be anybody that is a community. This could be a knitting group, your group of friends. This is usually an area that you can control. You might not be able to control your children's personalities or that kind of community, but you know, if you have a neighbor you don't like or several neighbors you don't like, even though it might be hard, you can move, you can change those things. So again, really becoming aware of how things and people make you feel and what you can accept and what you can't tolerate. Okay, so it's letting things go, setting them out to sea. It's about approaching things in a calm manner. Okay, what else do we have for Virgo in the area of community? Okay, all right. We have the 8 of Cups. So this is about, we've already mentioned it, becoming aware of those communities that aren't serving you, or maybe where you need to make some changes. Maybe you're on a board of directors and you need to add more people to make it balanced, to share the workload. And you need to walk away from old ways of thinking. Perhaps this is, you know, you're sick of being by yourself and you want to join something. Maybe you're going to go to a Pilates class or a swim class or something. And you know, through going and keeping yourself accountable, you meet new people. You become part of a volunteer group. You know, could be any number of things that you are really looking at this year as to what kind of communities you want to be part of, why, and how can you change those things. So if you are considering moving because you've been talking about how terrible your neighbors are, how unsafe it is, and you have not made a plan to move, then start making a plan, even if it's small. These things still aren't going to serve you even if you're facing them, right? What doesn't serve you doesn't serve you. Some things you can get a different perspective on and make it work for a while, but again, you're not going to change people. You aren't responsible for changing people. You can help change the world through love and compassion, but that is one thing at a time. And we definitely know that that doesn't help overnight. So starting with yourself, your community is self, mind, body, spirit, right? Your community in your household, your neighborhood, your workplace. Look at what you can change and then walk away from those things that aren't helping you, that are making you miserable, those things that you can't tolerate. Okay. All right, we'll take, what else does Virgo need to know about the community? About community. For some of you, this is going to be about changing things at your place of work. You might be in management, and you need to set up some different systems, processes, and how you communicate to each other to make it more of a thriving, engaging, productive atmosphere. Okay, and with this, we have higher power. So higher power is really strong for you here, Virgo. Connecting with higher power about making decisions, things about yourself that need to be revealed and changed. Just having that sense of that you are not alone. And for some of you, like I mentioned, you may be in management. Maybe you're the higher power where you are. Make sure you don't abuse that power. Make sure that you are being a leader and not a boss, that you're willing to pull the weight with your people and show them by example that you can get your hands dirty. Don't just sit from the throne and dictate to people. So either way, and wherever you are, whether you tend to sit back and watch, or you are leading by example, educating yourself, getting to know how your team works, be willing to do those things and get your hands dirty. And for some of you, you are longing to be your own boss, to be in power at your company, because you want to see things change. You want more responsibility. You want to grow, and that's going to come your way this year, Virgo. Okay, beautiful. And for our last section, we have occupational. And we were just talking about career, and now we'll roll into occupational. And we have exchanging gifts. So this isn't necessarily about you going out and buying your coworkers, your team gifts and exchanging them. This is about finding the gifts and strengths in others, finding them in yourself, creating a stronger team, creating a stronger work ethic. This is about lifting others up without tearing them down, getting constructive criticism. This is also about recognizing your own gifts, especially if you want to start your own business or you want to enhance your business. So this is about dreaming, your purpose, career ladders, purpose and fulfillment. Are you happy where you are? You can't keep giving, right? This is exchanging, right? So you want reciprocity wherever you go. You obviously want a paycheck. You want money coming in. You want to be respected. You want your work to be valued. But you're also obviously going to be expected to put your best efforts in, to also be respectful and be someone of a model employee or a model manager in this. Okay. Many of you have gifts that have yet to be discovered this year, right? And this is 27 or 9. So you are, if you aren't already learning to appreciate yourself more, Virgo, it's about finding new gifts about yourself, things that you like about yourself. And maybe those gifts are totally unrelated to work and they are hobbies that you do on the side to give you joy, to give you pleasure. Maybe it's finding things that you like to do. Like I'm just thinking like maybe the ballet here. There's a beautiful ballerina here. Maybe you realize that another coworker who you don't know well or maybe didn't get along with also likes ballet. So you decide to go to something together and build a new friendship, a new partnership. Some of you, this will be about opening up new opportunities for exploration of what you might want to do in a career or a business. Maybe you've gone to school and you're really realizing you have a lot of gifts, but your gifts really are going to be used better over here, and you want to explore that. Don't be afraid to receive, and don't be afraid to unwrap the gift that you are, Virgo. Okay. The tarot card. What else does Virgo need to know in the area of occupation for 2024? All right, and we have the Lovers. Okay, beautiful. about choice. You're going to be given a lot of choices. Some of you may be meeting your soulmate at work or at your place of business. Some of you may have a partner you want to go into business with. Just think very carefully before you make your choice, right? Make sure you're balancing your head and heart, not being led by your emotions or strictly by logic. Does it give you joy and pleasure? Does it seem to make sense to you? You will have a choice of what you want to do. And I'm thinking 7 of Cups right now. You might have multiple choices of what you want to do, Virgo. Maybe it's about leaving your place of business, your place of work, and going into business. Maybe it's about switching jobs altogether. Okay. What else does Virgo need to know in the area of occupation to thrive in 2024? All right, and we have Dark Side of the Moon, Mystery. Okay, so I think you've got lots of, it's moon energy, lots of secrets or partially knowns, things that you think you might know. Like you might know, hey, I want to go into the nursing field, and you get enrolled in school or an advanced opportunity, and you meet someone who is in a line of nursing that you didn't really know existed, and you learn about it, you fall in love with it, and you want to do it, right? It could happen any number of ways. So it's being open to new gifts and information that other people can give us to point us in the right direction. So there's a little bit of mystery, and I think there's a little bit of mystery of you, Virgo. You can be a very reserved, quiet, private person. Not all of you, but some that I know, and there's a bit of mystery to them. And don't be afraid to look at yourself as a gift. You're a gift to yourself and to others. And it's okay to be private. It's okay to have those boundaries, but also don't be afraid to be surprised yourself. Okay. All right, Virgo, that was it for your read. I hope you found something helpful, beneficial here. And I hope that this might help you bring clarity, bring purpose, affirmation, direction in areas that you already thought of or knew altogether, Virgo. And I wish you a very happy and healthy 2024. And until next time, peace and love. Stay grounded.